Hello, Bridget Bartlett here. I am the president of visionmarketinganddesign.com, and today we are actually continuing our series on how to create a restaurant web agency. So, today, what we're going to do, and if you've missed any of this training, definitely go back. You can always find the replays on my YouTube channel. If you are a member of my team, you can go to the replay section inside the membership area to access all of that training. Okay. So what we're going to work on this week is actually creating a template, not just a website for a pizza shop like this one, but we want to create a restaurant template that incorporates easily the Gloria Foods menu here. But we also want to make sure that we are providing, a good template for, to explain all the other things. So we're going to kind of use this style, but we want to make it super simple so that we can incorporate all the features of Gloria Foods, but we want to make it to where all we need to do really is just duplicate the website and then add new pictures. That would be a really, really simple project, and a way to, easily go from pizza shops to Chinese restaurants to, maybe Italian food to, any type of restaurant. As long as you have this template, it's easy to just duplicate it and swap out the images, okay? Because you want to definitely, because we're selling this at such an inexpensive price, we definitely want to make sure that it's easy to customize, okay? So I'm going to show you some options and some ideas today, and of course you can incorporate that however you want to, okay? So before I get started, let me go ahead and invite you to join my team. If you're not a member yet, you can go to visionmarketinganddesign.com, and you can actually, if you become a Builderall member today, then your membership is actually free. If you're already a Builderall member, don't worry, we have a plan for you, no worries. This is a great program for beginners, freelancers, business owners, agency owners. As long as you're not someone who's like, oh, I just want to get rich quick and I don't want to do any work, this is not the program for you. If you think of this program, it's kind of like college, right? It's like you have to invest a lot of time. You have to learn the skills, you have to learn the tools, and then you can go out into the world and you can use the skills and knowledge however you want to based on your passion. That's the beautiful thing about digital marketing. You can monetize anything that you love to do, and you can do this from home. I do provide live training Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, you can check that out in the membership area or on my YouTube channel. We also do work with the Builderall suite of tools. So it's 40 plus tools all in one place. So that's really the only thing that you have to do is sign up for Builderall so that you have the tools. Really, you wouldn't be successful in this program unless you have the Builderall tools, because it's the main platform that we use for both our businesses, but clients as well. On Fridays, we do a live Q&A, so you can actually join me in the Zoom and ask me any question that may be keeping you stuck. We also have over $10,000 in courses that you can use to be successful online. I also have 85,000 plus free PLR products that you can use to brand as your own, like ebooks and videos and articles and so on. You also have the opportunity to work as a freelancer for us. So like I said, we do have an agency as well as the training program. So if you get efficient in one of the tools and you want to provide your services to clients, you can apply there to be a freelancer. Also, I do provide private coaching if you just need, maybe you have a client and you don't really know which direction to take, or maybe you're just trying to figure out, where in this digital world you want to be. You can definitely schedule a private coaching session. It's half price for members. It's also the templates that we have in the template shop. They are half price for members as well. If you want to check out any of the videos from some of my members, you can do that here. So like I said, all you need to do is become a Builderall member. You can click here and choose a plan. If you're already a Builderall member, no worries. You can join here for $47. It will not change who your sponsor is. Nothing will change, but you will get all the same benefits that my team members get. Okay, so let me go ahead and get logged in here to the live broadcast page and say hello to my members. Just going to add my name here. Unmute that. Okay, so it looks like Maria's here and Karen, both Marias. Frankie, hello. Hello, Karen. Hello, Val. Nice to see you all here. Okay, I'm going to move this over to the side and let's get started. This is going to be really easy. I think you guys are really going to like this training. Okay, so the main thing when I'm thinking about a project, creating a website, I want to look first at the navigation. You know, what actually is this website? How many pages is it? If you click here, it shows a page with the menu typed out. That is really important, especially because the menu that we use is kind of a pop-up, and you always want to have, you know, a place where people can go and see all the options. So that's really cool. As far as food delivery, it looks like that's another page. So it's just, you know, the menu that you embed here. Then they have special offers. They also have this map that does show their delivery zone. They also have special offers here. So it looks like this is another page and then a contact us page. Okay, so it's 4 pages here. And then if you click the icon, that actually takes you back to the home page. So that's 5 pages. And then they have the table reservations, which is just the widget. And then the C menu, which is the widget as well. Okay, so what we need to do is, what we're going to do is actually just create a simple landing page. Okay, we want to create this as simple as possible. I don't really think that we need all of those pages, and really I don't like the design of this. I think that there's a much better way that we can present this in a professional way with all the same information. So let's go ahead and go into, but first, before we do that, I did want to give you guys an update on a couple things that I did over the weekend. If you go to your restaurant admin panel, if you're a reseller for Gloria Foods, you'll see the option, and you know just from in the management system. Okay, so if I go to my demo restaurant that I have here, this is what the restaurant owner is going to see. This is their option, right? So what I did is I actually did like a sample menu upload because I wanted to know with Gloria Foods that when a client puts in that they want the menu uploaded for them, they want the menu created, and honestly, most of them are going to. Not that it's difficult, it's just very time consuming. You have to learn how to do it, and then you have to enter it, and it's a lot of times people are just like, "Will you just do it for me?" You know, and so that's an excellent option. But I wanted to know, what is the going price? I mean, we talk about this all the time in business, like, what's the price? What's the price? No one really wants to tell you the price. So what I did is I actually used a sample menu here that I just found at a local restaurant. So it's actually 6 pages. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 pages with menu items. Okay. So what I did is I actually uploaded that to my demo restaurant. And I just wanted to tell you guys that the quote that I got for this menu, this 5-page menu, was $38. $38 to create the whole menu. So you guys, when we're talking about, you know, being a reseller and, you know, being able to provide the service, you could easily turn around and sell that for $100. And I mean, a restaurant owner would love to pay you $100 to get their menu all uploaded for them. And they're going to do it for you for $38 if you just order it. Okay, so how do you order it? Just real quickly, they will order it inside their dashboard. And then when you receive it, it'll say menu insertion service, and then it'll say pending. Okay, so then you can look at it. You can actually download it by clicking here. I won't do it because I've already done it. And then you can look at it, and then you can send them an invoice, and you can say, here's how much we want to do it. But when they upload it, you're also going to get the quote. Okay, so so that's super cool. It'll tell you here that the quote in your back end, it'll say that the quote is $38, and then you can choose to accept or not accept. Now, obviously, if I want to do this service myself, I want to say not accept. But if I said accept because I will at $38, that would be an easy solution, right? And again, it just depends on your business model, how you're positioning this. If you want to just like completely be a reseller and just, you know, and use Builderall and use the websites and all of that and not really incorporate a lot of these different services, of course, you can do that. You can make the price whatever you want to. But if you are using the widget and you want them to upload all the menu for you so you don't have to, or you don't have to learn how to do it, then you definitely have that option. It would actually be much cheaper. So think about a package of like, I'll give you the basic plan and then the website with the domain and then the online ordering, and we'll get your whole, menu set up. We'll get everything set up for you for, $200, and then you charge them, $100 a month, and now you're pocketing that money, right? So lots of options. I don't want to dive too much into that, but I did want to give you that update. Also, we're always talking about traffic and things like that. So what I did do also is I created a brochure that I actually ordered from Vistaprint. So I think I ordered 250 of them because I never order too many. When I first get started with something, I want to make sure that there are no typos, that it's the actual information that I want to give and all of that. So this is the brochure that I ordered. It was like $165 for 250 of them at Vistaprint. So what I'm going to do is I actually have some friends in sales. And so what I'm going to ask them to do is become an affiliate. I'm going to give them these brochures. They can go out and then sell this service for me, and then we can manage it on the back end. And that's, you guys, that is how you scale, okay? You rely on a team of people to help you, and then you scale, right? Utilize their skills and work together, and make sure that you create a structure where everyone benefits, okay? So this is my brochure. I'll definitely let you guys know. Maybe I'll even do like when I go into a restaurant, maybe like a video or so. I don't know if that's legal, but that would be really interesting for you guys to just go in with me to a restaurant and then see just how I talk to people and stuff. Okay. So I did want to, because I love and adore you all, I did want to give you this brochure template here. So I'm just going to copy and I'm going to paste this in the chat of the webinar. So that is built on Canva, so you guys can customize it, do whatever you want with it. Okay, so now let's actually get into today's training now that I've gotten all that. And we're going to go to the apps section inside Builderall, and we're going to access the Cheetah website builder. Now, you can start with a template, but I do not like to start with templates. And, I always wondered, how come every time I watch a video of, someone building a website, they always start from scratch? And that's just because when you, you get more familiar, you have a certain way of doing things. And when you start with a template, it's almost more work because then you have to go back and change things and double check things and whatever. So it's just better for me personally to start with a blank template. So I'm going to choose blank, and then I'm going to click here for select and save. Now I have my website. Now the very first thing that I do when I start a website is I want to go to site settings, and I want to name it whatever it is I'm working with. Because once you acquire many websites, it starts to, they're all called My Cheetah website. And if you don't name them immediately, the next day when you come back to start working on it again, you're not going to realize which one it is, and you're clicking in different ones. So we're going to call this restaurant template. And we'll go ahead and call it that here, restaurant template. And we will just copy this and paste that in the description. And we can choose to have our Builderall affiliate button. We can go ahead and do that. I always enable the CRM because why not? Right? If you want to track as many things as possible, so I always enable the CRM. If you want to upload the favicon, you can do that here, but I have not created that yet. We're just going to do a template. So I'm just going to click save. And now we at least have our restaurant named. So if we ever have to come back, we can go ahead and republish. I don't think it was published in the beginning, but okay. So now what we want to do is, first thing, we want to create our header. Okay, this is what I do first, because when I duplicate pages, I don't want to have to duplicate this. Even though I don't know if we'll actually be duplicating pages, but I always just create the header first, okay? And I use a global header. Global means that you can connect it to any page. So you just update it one time, and then you don't have to go to each individual page, right? So it's global, meaning the entire website. So I'm just gonna call this main, and then click the green arrow to save, and let's go ahead and click here to edit. And I'm going to go to add panels. And of course, you can, there are some headers and menus and things like that in here if you wanted to use that. But, and actually, maybe we will, because I like that this has the logo. So let's click here. We'll just use that. All right. So here, what we want to do is we want to use the same, let me get back to it. We want to use the same menu options. Okay. So I'm just going to go back here. First one we have is menu. So let's go to configure. And I'm going to click here to edit the name of the first one, and we'll keep it capitalized. So we'll call this menu and save. And then we have food delivery. So we'll go and call this food delivery. Oops. And special offers. Oops. Special offers. And save. And oops, where are we at? Okay, and then contact us. And then contact us. Okay. So now we have our menu. I'm just going to move this over here. And we'll click save. And that's fine. And actually, since we're going to put that option for reserve, that little widget here, let's go ahead and put an iframe. So let's go to elements, because that's how we're going to add the restaurant menu or the buttons. So I'm just going to add this iframe here. Let me expand this a little bit. And we'll just shrink this down. All right, and we'll put that there. And then we'll have our menu here, and the logo will go here, okay? And let's see if this is the black color we want to use. Let's go to, let's see, let me save. It's funny, I kind of get an autopilot when I do this, and I have to remember that I'm actually live. Okay, so I do like to go ahead and choose my fonts right away, and these are the global fonts, so the H1 title, H2, and all of that. This is what, when you pull in a text like this, if you go to elements, and then you pull in any of these texts, these are global. So they're going to be set however you set this. So even if, like, let's say I want all of my H1 text to be white, if you change this to white, now you see you can't see that because it's white text. Okay, so all of these settings are going to be here. Okay, so I like to use, first of all, I like to use Lato. So let's go ahead and choose Lato, and I like to choose Lato black for my H1 title. I don't like for it to be so large, so I'll probably choose 60. 40 is fine on mobile, and let's go ahead and choose our font. And I like to choose a black font, but not too black. So just not like stark black, but just a little bit black. So that's pretty good. So I'm just going to click there to save that color. I'm also going to copy here. And then I'm going to scroll down. Let's go ahead and change our H2. We'll choose Lato. And let's just go ahead and change it to this color. So I'm just going to paste that hex code here. And then let's change this to Lato as well. And we'll change the color. So I'll just highlight and paste. And then we'll change this to Lato. And let's change the color, highlight and paste. And then we'll change this to Lato. And highlight, paste. And we'll change this to Lato. Okay, and highlight. and paste, and one more, our paragraph text. So we're going to change this to Lato as well, and we'll change the color. Okay, so now we know that all of the text that we pull in are going to be consistent with the right color. Okay, so let's also go ahead and use that same black for the background of this. Okay, want to definitely be consistent and congruent, and you'd really be surprised how much that makes a difference. All right, so I'm just going to paste that color here, and now we have that black, but I don't really know if I like that. We're going to leave the border here on the iframe so that we remember that it's there. Let's make this a little bit darker, actually. That's good. And let's go ahead and save it so we remember. All right, let's click here and make sure that this font is Lato. Oops, we'll click here because this is where you access basically the look of the menu. So let's go to general colors rather. And we'll click here. It's the, okay, so it's transparent. Now we need the items. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud. Okay, so it's actually in the font of Montserrat. So we're going to change it to Lato. And just in case we added a sub menu in the future, I always like to make sure that this is changed as well. So we'll change that to Lato. And that's fine. And let's go ahead and just go back to home. And now we need a footer. So I'm going to click footer and create new footer. And we'll just call this main, main footer. And let's save it. And let's edit. And go to add panels. And we'll go all the way down to footer. I do have one saved, but just to show you, you know, what I do originally. So we could choose maybe this one. Just click it. All right, now this will be okay for now, but let's definitely, we want to take this. We'll take this away. I don't like to have those like newsletter contact forms. Most people won't sign up for newsletters, but let me move this out of the way. All right. Now let's change this background color, background settings, and let's click our black color so that it's consistent. And that's fine. And of course, you want to add different things to the footer, but right now we're just creating the template. All right, so I'm just going to go back to home now. And we need to go to the settings and click settings and then scroll down to where you see the desktop header settings. And we're going to choose mobile and desktop. We're going to set it for that. And then the same for the footer. So once we save that, then we want to republish, because anytime you edit the global settings, you always want to republish. So now that is everything that I do to get a page started, okay? So now what we need to do is click here to edit the page. All right, so right now we have a panel, just a white panel, so I'm actually going to delete this and really start from scratch. So I'm going to click here. Typically, I like the header to be about 600 height. So I'm going to choose 500. 600. Okay. So that's going to be my header. Let's go ahead and add some text. All right. So let's go to text. Now we need an H1. So I'm going to put that there. We need an H2. So I'm going to go back. And so that is our header. Okay. How hard was that? Now we need another panel here. So let's look at our example. What did they have as the second fold? Okay, so here's the first fold. We've created our menu. There's a little arrow or a little thing down here, and then you have the reservation. But I actually don't want it to be there. I want it to be right on the main header. Okay, so let me X out of this, close these up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this iframe and I'm going to go, let's grab an iframe element, and I'm going to just drag that here. So here's where the menu is going to be embedded. All right, so we're going to leave that there. We'll go ahead and click save. So now we need a place to house the menu, okay? But if they're a restaurant that has, multiple, like if we look at this one, um they have multiple different categories. Okay, so if we were to actually put, this would be a really long website, a long landing page, if we were to put all the Italian foods in a section, and then all the pasta in a section, and all. So here is what I think we should do. Let's go ahead and add another panel. We'll add a blank panel here. Let's go ahead and make it larger. So I'm going to right click here just to give myself a little bit more room, well, actually a lot more room. And then I'm going to highlight this, and then I'm just going to call this menu. And what I want to do is add some buttons. So I'm going to go to Elements and go to Buttons. So I need to actually brand this button before I duplicate it, okay? So what I'm going to do in the effort of making this kind of generic, even though this first one, we're going to do a pizza shop, okay? So what I'm going to do is right-click here. If we go to this pizza shop here, if we wanted those exact colors, which we don't really need to, looks like they used orange and blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose a color picker. If you choose the Google Chrome extension called Color Pick Eyedropper, that's what I'm going to use here. So I'm going to click on that, and then anything that I highlight over, it's going to give me the color. Okay, so we have this red color. I'm just going to grab a notepad here. So we have the red color, which is this hex code. Grab this. And then I'm going to go ahead and write red, and then put the little pound sign. And then it looks like we have a blue. We'll add a pound sign. And then we have an orange. All right. So those are probably typical pizza shop colors anyway. So we have that color. Let's go ahead and see what color the orange is. So if you left click on it, you'll see it highlights it already. So let's go ahead and add it to our cheat sheet. Gotta paste that there. And the blue color, left click, and then it highlights. So I'm going to copy, and then I'm going to go back to my little cheat sheet, and I'm going to paste. Okay. Now I have all of these branded colors. I don't need this extension anymore, and it will actually, all these extensions really cause your browser to slow down. Okay, so if you're not using them, definitely you can deactivate them. I'll do that there. All right. So now we have our colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little color panel here. Let's go to general colors, and let's click here. And you see that we have some default colors. I'm just going to delete these. Delete and delete. And I'm going to keep those because that was our font color, and then that was our black header and footer color. But I'm going to add the red color now. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste here. And then I'm going to click here to select that color so that I can store it here, and I won't have to look for those hex codes again. All right, so we have the blue, so I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to paste, and then I'm going to save that. And then we have the orange color. So I'm going to copy, come back here, and then paste, and then we'll save that. Okay. So now we probably want, you can choose a gradient if you want to. And so let's just swap the colors. Okay. So, or not a gradient, a hover effect. And what that means is when you hover over the live button, it will actually change so that you show it's a button. That is really important. Sometimes, believe it or not, sometimes people do not realize it's a button. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go to the text or the headline, and here's where you want to change on a button what it says. Okay, so I'm going to change this to dinner And it's already Lato black, but let's just make it regular Lato. I like the buttons to be at least 20. We'll change the mobile to about 18, and then we'll make the text white. And let's go ahead and add maybe a border. So we'll choose this. Let's choose a branded color, like maybe this black color. And let's make it like 2. And let's give it some shadow. And let's see, we'll just move it like that far. Just enough. Just a little blur. I like to make the shadow here, like in the middle, and we can save that as well. Okay, so now we have our branded button. Maybe we want a little icon here, and I do want an icon because what I'm going to do is put a rotation banner down here, and they'll be able to click on whatever, like entree, I guess, or whatever category they want, and then it will rotate. So in order to do that, I definitely want to make that I guess self-explanatory. So I'm going to go back to headline and I want to add a little icon. Okay, so I'm just going to choose, if you type in download and search, you'll see that you have some download little icons here. I tend to choose this one, so we'll click that. And I do like to add a little space after the dinner, if you see that, it just looks better, I think. So here is my button, okay? So what I want to do now is I want to duplicate this button. So I'm going to duplicate, and then I'm going to move this here, and then we are going to right click on the button, and now we're going to call this sides and space, and let's duplicate the button again. And this one is going to be, we'll right click and we'll call this desserts. Oops, forgot it. Thought I was capitalized still. Desserts, space, and let's duplicate. And we will say drinks for this one. Drinks. All right, and space. All right, so now we have these menu categories here. Now we need to create a rotation banner. We need to add our menu. So I'm going to click to add and then go to elements. And if you go back to the main menu, if you scroll all the way down, you'll see rotation banner. Okay. Now we do have some pre-built here. If you wanted to choose one of those, but again, I don't like templates. I like to start and work from scratch. So I'm going to left click and drag this rotation banner over to my website. All right. So let me click here and move it. And we're definitely going to need some more space on the bottom, so I'm just going to drag this out like this. Now, you'll see with the rotation banners, there's one thing that's really important to note. If you click on the outside here, you'll see that it says rotation. Click on the outside. It says rotation banner. Okay. If you click on the inside, it says slider page 0. That's important to note because when you first start working with rotation banners, it can be kind of confusing how to, to edit things. Okay. So if you remember to edit the whole rotation banner, you have to make sure to click the outside and make sure that it says rotation banner. And then you'll see that you have these options here where you can add a slide, and you can also rotate here between the slides. So you can go, like, if I wanted to go to the next one and the next one and then back to 0, that's how you go through the slides. Now, if you duplicate, then it's going to duplicate the entire rotation banner, okay? If you were to duplicate here by clicking in the slide, then it's going to duplicate the slide, okay? So what I like to do is I actually go to the last one, and then I just want to delete the slide, okay? So I'm going to click here, make sure it says slider page 2, because that's the one I want to delete, and then it's gone. So I'm going to do that same thing here. It's on slider page 1, so I'm going to delete. Okay. So now we're just down to one slide. So I'm going to get rid of this text here. Yes, and delete. And let's get rid of this image. Now, I actually have a pre-built menu already in my personals. I think it's panels section. So if I scroll down, it says menu just to save time. So here is my pre-built menu. Okay. So what I want to do is I just want to add this up here to this rotation banner. So I'm just going to take this, drag it up. Oops. And you guys will see like all of the features inside of Builderall, how you can just save panels and pages and duplicate things. It just makes this process so simple. So I'm going to move this up here. They probably don't need to be that far apart. All right, so oops, we'll just kind of move this in the middle. And you guys can also see too that this being built, I want you to notice how it's built, okay? Because when you put things, this I struggled with when I was new because I would just pull in text and then pull in these things, and you'll see here that all of these little elements. This is a text element. This is a text element. Text element. Text element. So these are all text elements. But to make sure that they're aligned properly, what you need to do is put them on a box, okay? You can make it a transparent box, and that's what helps all of this move together. So it's not just going to make it easier when you're designing, but it also makes it easier and more congruent when it's switching from device to device when you're viewing it. So also on mobile, it keeps everything aligned properly so that you're not, you don't have like pieces all over the place. It really will make it so much nicer when it comes time to actually work with all these elements. So definitely, that's a little pro tip for you. Utilize those transparent boxes. Okay. So now I'm going to drag this up there, which you can see is so easy because that is a transparent box. And then we're going to drag this image. Okay. So now I have my menu here. Okay. I need to put another title here. So I'm going to go to text. And let's just grab a H2 title. Or actually, you could probably choose H3. Let's choose H3 because we already did a H2 up here. And so let's go back here. We'll do H3. Okay. So the first menu is going to be the dinner. So I'm just going to type in dinner. Let's center it here. We'll double click and then type in dinner. Okay, so I pretty much have this menu slider, how I want it to look right now. So what I'm going to do, instead of having to recreate all of this stuff, now that I started from a blank spot, now I'm going to click here, and you'll see that I've selected slider page 0. Okay, so now I just want to duplicate. Sometimes it takes a second. It's a lot of information. Okay, so now you'll see we have another slide. Okay, we need actually a total of 4. Okay, so I'm going to click here. Let's just duplicate the slide as well. I don't know if you guys have actually, how much you've used rotation banners, but super cool stuff that you can do with a rotation banner. I actually was wanting to show you something that I had done that I thought was really cool as well. All right, so I'm going to click here, and let's go ahead and duplicate this one more time. Any moment. And then after it duplicates, what we're going to do is connect it to these buttons. And you'll see why, you'll see the method of my madness here and what a cool effect that it actually does. And we're going to put images up here and things. So, okay. So now we have 4. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. Actually, I need 1. So I'm on slider page 1. Okay. And you can always double check again by clicking in it, and it'll tell you you're on slider page 1. So I want to call this sides. I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to go to slider page 2, and I'm going to call this desserts. That way when I'm flipping between the two, I can easily see that I have actually changed pages. And then I'm going to change this one on slider page 3. I'm going to change this to drinks. Okay. Now we've done enough work, so let's go ahead and click save. And that's fine. And let's go ahead and we want to republish, and let's check out what this page looks like live so far. So we have our menu up here. We have our iframe. We have our main header panel here, our first fold. And then we have our menu, and we have the slides, but you can see I forgot to change the hover before I duplicated. So good job, Bridget. And then we have the slider here. So if you click on dinner, because you want to see the dinner menu, that's going to be the default. But say they want to look at the slides, so they can click here for slides. Oops, dang it. Sorry, I forgot. You need to go to slides after you do that, the most important part. And then, well, first, let's click here just to show you the congruency. So we're going to click set link, okay? Then you want to go to rotation banner. And if you don't have a list here, you can click refresh the rotation banner list, and that will give you the most up-to-date list, okay? So this first one is going to be 0 because that's the slide. When we click this button, we want it to show 0. When we click on the button for sides, we want it to show 1. So let's go to rotation banner, and then we're going to choose 1, and then select. And then for this one, we're going to choose 2. So let's set link, rotation banner, and let's change that to 2. And then for this one, we want to set link, and then go to rotation banner, and then it's going to be 3. Okay, so now let's click save. And that's fine. And close, and let's republish and refresh a couple times. Refresh. Okay, now if we click sides, then you'll see that it slides through. So we have desserts, drinks, dinner. Okay, so what a cool way of presenting your menu without it being like all of those different categories or additional pages, right? Just right up front and center so that they can see it. So let's go back here now to the main page. I want to change that hover effect because it's really ugly. So I'm going to click the pencil, and I'm going to go to general colors, and you'll see here is where you change the hover effect. Okay, so I'm just going to click here, and I'm going to choose maybe this red color, and then we'll choose white text. Okay, so it won't change it dramatically. And then if you stay here and then you go to the next element and right click, it'll actually stay in that same area. So that's really helpful. So we'll choose the same red color, and then we'll choose white text, and then right click on the button, and let's choose the red color and then white text, and then right click on the button and then red color and white text. So let's save. And that's fine. Now, technically, what we should have done is made sure that, this menu has, branded colors in it and all of that, to make sure that it's congruent. But I don't want to spend all day on fine details because I know that that will take forever and I will nitpick this thing to death. Okay, so there are some options that you can do with the rotation banner. You don't have to have it be white, okay? And actually what I like to do, and maybe we could have done this before we duplicated, duh, Bridget, let's start at 0. What you can do is actually, if you right click here and you're on the rotation banner settings, you could click here to edit, and then go to general settings, and then you'll see here you can actually make it, instead of sliding, you can make it fade in and out. You can make the arrows disappear, which I do like to do. I like for them to click the button. They don't really need to see the arrow, and it doesn't really look right. So you can definitely change the color of the arrow. You can make it autoplay if you want to, but I want them to specifically have to click the button to change the menu. So you have those options there as well. You can adjust the sizing, but what I really want to do is go to the color, and I'm going to make this transparent. Okay, so you can see now the borders have disappeared. So I also want to make this transparent. Okay, I don't necessarily want them to see the background of the menu. I want them to focus on the menu, and I just prefer to have it transparent. So I'm going to go ahead and make that transparent as well. So now you can see all of that's transparent. So let's go to the first one now, and you can see the background, because we changed the slider, or the actual rotation banner background, and then just the background of the slider 0, then it still leaves the other, 1, 2, and 3 where we need to change that. So I'm going to right click here and just bring that to transparent. Let's go to 2, and then I'm going to right click and then drag that to transparent, and then the same for number 3. And we'll right click and then drag transparent. All right, now let's save. And that's fine. And close. Now let's go back and let's just republish and let's refresh a couple times. Okay. So now you can see it looks much, much better. It doesn't have that box around it, just looks much more clean. So if you click here, also the buttons, they're actually branded now, so those look better. And then as you slide through, right now it just, you can only see really the effect on the title here, but as you add and build in the menu, it just looks so much better. Instead of sliding with a white background, it just looks much cleaner. It's a much better effect. You can kind of see it too with this image down here as well. Okay, so sorry you can't really see how super cool that is because of that reason, because we didn't actually build it out. Okay, so another thing that I want to do, I don't want to just have the buttons here. We could have done just images, but when you go to, if you think about the menu on, or you think about what it looks like on mobile, you don't want to have a lot of images and then all the way at the bottom, the menu sliding, because they may not know that that's what's happening, right? If you look here to see what I'm saying on the mobile, and you don't really have to work on the mobile until you're done, but you always have to keep in mind, your mobile design, because a lot of people will want to look at this on mobile. And so you want to make sure that, while it doesn't exactly have to be perfect on mobile, you definitely want to make sure that that it does make sense and that it's user friendly. So you'll see here that we have this button, and then we have all of our buttons down here at the bottom. Let's just move this up. Takes just a second, and we could actually use, if you click over here and you click on the actual panel and click here, you can move the elements. So we can move all of these things up to the top without having to do each individual one. So then we'll click move. Oh, and we could have done the text too. Come on, come on. I think everything's moving slow today. I think I had to reboot my computer twice. So hopefully there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, come on. Come on. You can do it. Okay, so again, I hate when this stuff takes forever. When you're live, 2 seconds seems like a lifetime. So let's go back here, but I just wanted to show you that up at the top, they're just going to have the buttons, okay? And if it was like images, it would be all of these images. If you think about your cell phone, how big the screen is, you're really only going to see this part. So I didn't want to have a whole bunch here to where they couldn't see the actual menu down here. So sorry that's taking a while. I'm going to go back to the desktop now, unless my computer's frozen. I think my computer's frozen. Okay, let's exit page. Reload. And that's why you save a lot. Load, load, load. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to go to elements, and I want to go to images, and I'm going to choose an image here. Now I'm just going to choose a small image that is about the size of the button. And if you look here on I'll show you what I was saying. If you click here, you could actually still set the image to the rotation banner. But again, just to stay congruent with the style, I didn't want to do that because I want them to click the buttons so that when they go to the mobile view, there's only buttons and we can hide the images. Okay, so I'm going to actually duplicate this now that I've chosen the size that I want. And we'll just put images here of like stock images, right? Of maybe, since this is a pizza shop, of a pizza. And then for the sides, maybe we want an image of breadsticks. And then, sorry guys, I should be in incognito. Maybe you want breadsticks, and then maybe for dessert, maybe you want like a pie or something like that, right? Whatever the pizza shop has, whatever typical dessert is. So let's duplicate this again. And then of course for drinks, you could just have a picture of drinks. And you know, those pictures they can be restaurant specific, they can be just stock images. I recommend stock images. That way it's less swapping out. Um, any day. Okay. All right, so since I'm sorry, I should have been in incognito because all of the Chrome extensions that I have, it slows all of this stuff down. If you guys ever have like speed problems when you're building, the builder it takes a lot of power from your computer to use it, and so being in incognito without the extensions and things, that just really helps because it is a browser builder. It's not something that you download to use. So I think this is what we are. We'll stop here for today, and then tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a section here. Our restaurant will add some images here, and then a special offers section, and then we'll add their hours and definitely a place for a promo code. And then we're going to add, I'll show you a really simple way that you can embed a map here. And you can even do like a radius map to show the location of their delivery area. So we'll do all of that tomorrow. And the goal is, you know, we're going to make this an anchor page so that, you know, we'll set each of the panels so that when they click here, it'll go to that exact one and we're not using multiple pages in the website. So I hope that you guys are learning something throughout this training, and I will see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Oh, and since we're talking about traffic for local business, instead of showing you my normal outro video, I'm going to show you the agency lead system. Okay, so this is a great way by providing a Google My Business guide for them as a lead magnet to get them to opt in and then book an appointment, and then you can offer your restaurant promo services. But you have to remember, obviously, if that is your business, you want to make sure that you're targeting specific restaurant owners. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to share with you that video, and I will see you all tomorrow, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye.